I'm going to take you back before football was invented in 1992 with the Premier League.
Even I wasn't born then.
Well, you played in some Liverpool teams that dismantled sides. You played in some fiery fixtures as well. A lot of people have said, "Oh, Arsenal dark arts and this, that, and the other thing." Do you really want a repeat? It's total hypocrisy from a lot of people that are saying this. Do you want a repeat of that game earlier this season? It was rubbish. It was Man City against Arsenal. It was 0-0. We've seen games like that. We now have a rivalry again. We haven't had a proper rivalry with red cards and whatever. And Stevie, they say sometimes commentators, "Oh, you don't like to see that." Well, a lot of the fans do like to see that because they'd rather see contentious incidents and all sorts of things happening than a 0-0. Was that a good thing, that 2-2 draw and everything that went with it on Sunday for the English Premier League? Or was it something that you can sit on your high horse and say, "Oh, dear, 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 bad behaviour, that's terrible"?
It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you know, all these people that are on their high horse will come out with that claptrap. "Oh, we don't want to see this. We don't want to see that." I'll tell you what, though, every one of them enjoyed the game.
Yep.
There's not one person who's come out and said, "I didn't enjoy this. This was fire and brimstone. I really enjoyed it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, pretty much. Little spells in the game where it settled down, but no, absolutely not. I wish every game was like this."
Yes.
I mean, we still talk about the Man United Arsenal games at Old Trafford and the Man United Liverpool games and the old Liverpool Everton derbies in the mid-80s when Everton were top of the tree. Every single person. Now, some of those games, by the way, didn't have as much good football in it as that game did at the weekend. But again, everybody enjoyed it. You know, football's not all these. Again, I get really annoyed because it seems to me that FIFA and UEFA and everybody else, they're trying to get rid of the physical side of the game. Yes, we all want to play football, but if you take away the physical side of the game completely, you're losing a huge part of the game, and that's what I think that all these bodies and boards and people in control are trying to do. They're trying to get rid of the physicality, but every now and again, like with a game like this, we see the importance of it. It's part of the enjoyment. It's part of the game. And boy, if we lose that and if we referee that out the game's not going to be as good. It's just not.
Well said. Well said. LME, Team Arteta or the other team? Whose side of the fence are you on?
No, I'm spot on with Stevie, and I'm with Team Arteta. What is Arteta meant to do for the entire second half against the defending champions, Manchester City? Let me give you an example here. In 2021, 2022, Arsenal played with 10 men twice against Manchester City. The first one, they were 2-0 down. Granit Xhaka got sent off. They lost 5-0. The second one, it was 1-0 until the 59th minute. Gabriel got sent off. They lost 2-1 in the last moments of that game. So what is Mikel Arteta meant to do here? I said before this game, right, that the Arsenal cannot leave the Etihad with 0 points, even this early in the season. Come out with a draw, come out with a victory, obviously, but you need to protect. And that's exactly what he did. What is he meant to do for an entire half, right? He's meant to protect. He's meant to be physical. He's meant to make sure that whatever they have at that moment is completely defended. And I'm with Stevie. You need to understand that part of this game is not just about the beautiful aesthetics. It's about getting the result and being together collectively. There is an art in being strong, in being physical, and being resilient. And that's exactly what Arsenal had to do. Now, Leandro Trossard doesn't make that mistake, then we can have a different conversation. But what is he meant to do? This isn't dark arts. This is the tactical acknowledgement that Arsenal had to protect something. Because when you go to Manchester City and you play the entire half with 10 men, then something needs to be given. Now, I will say that Mikel Arteta does need to do something, because this is the second game this season where a player has been sent off for indiscipline. So is there a need to maybe say to his players, you need to be focused, you need to be...
He admitted this, LME, when he was asked. He said,
to me, so that kind of practice needs to be talked into action in the training ground. Because now you are giving away points now because of that lack of discipline. That's another conversation. Having said all that, exactly spot on. Mikel Arteta needed to do what he needed to do for 45 minutes played with 10 men against the defending champions, and he got a point. Well done.
He needs to stop crying, though. Eventually people stop listening. And I think we're almost at that stage with Arteta. If you're going to complain about referee decisions, then you're going to have to cover your back and mention that the fact that you got your first goal because of the referee's mistakes against City, then you get a little bit of credit with that. But he doesn't. He's too busy complaining about woe is me and my team and Arsenal and this and that everybody's against us and we're losing points because of referees. Well, quite frankly, at 1-0, you didn't look as though you were getting back in the game particularly. You didn't look dangerous until the referee makes two horrendous mistakes. One, lets them take a free kick 10 yards from when the foul was, and two, he lets them take it before Kyle Walker can come back. Now, I don't care what you say. If he doesn't do those two things, Calafiori doesn't score. So if you're going to complain about the referee, cover your back, because people will listen to you if you acknowledge that the fact you got a goal because of a referee mistake against the other team, then you might carry a little bit more respect from people listening to you. But yeah, enough of the crying.
It's something we're all guilty of. Hypocrisy. It's being a football fan comes with. Excuse me. No, everybody does it. You look at something for your own team, and then the same thing happens for the other team. You're like, no, nothing wrong with that. It's just, that's what you're born and bred to have. Now, that's not exactly the same as Arteta. What I wanted to ask you, when you played with Liverpool, who was the one, or was there an opposing manager you thought, oh God, he just never shuts up, or you really wanted to beat them because of who was in charge? Was there anybody?
No, I wouldn't say that. To be honest, most managers and teams respected us too much to try and put the blame on the referee. Listen, did we get some decisions that maybe we shouldn't have? Yes, of course we did. But at the same time, again, most managers will look at the big picture and understand that, yes, okay, you might have got a decision, but the truth of the matter is, during the course of the 90 minutes, you got outplayed. Now, if that's the case, then, which it normally was, then you don't hear too many people complaining. It's only when you really get hard done by that you really want to complain. And one thing you reminded me of for some reason there, Arteta should, after the Declan Rice one, made it really clear to us, the public, their fans, and Declan Rice and the rest of the players, that if we want to win the Premier League, we need every single point we can get, and we're not going to get points if we have people sent off for infringements that we should know better. He should have done that straight after the Arsenal game.
That was my point.
Because
that was my point, Stevie. That's exactly what I said. Like Arteta needed.
An old coach of mine, Ronnie Moran. An old coach of mine, Ronnie Moran. The first thing he would have done after Declan Rice had been sent off, the first thing he would have done after the game is walk in the dressing room and walk over to Declan Rice and say, if you don't kick the ball away, you don't get sent off. He wouldn't have blamed the referee. He wouldn't have blamed anybody else. He would have walked straight to Declan Rice.
Probably clipped him around the ear as well, knowing Ronnie.
And the same with Trossard. Arteta's cuddling him on the way off. Are you serious? Cuddling him.
But that's exactly what I said. Did I not say that? Arteta needs to fix this because it's 2 games now where players have been sent off due to indiscipline. So that's a massive thing that he has to fix, because at the end of the day, and this is an ongoing theme with Arsenal. If you want to win the Premier League, 2 things need to happen. You need to be almost perfect, because you've got to dethrone Manchester City, and you can't shoot yourself in the foot. And Arsenal continue to do that very often. So let's hope, and I'm not too hopeful, but let's hope that Arteta clears that out, because 2 games now where players have been sent off through indiscipline.